The Columbia Broadcasting System presents yours truly, Johnny Dollar. The next half hour has its baggage packed to take a trip with America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At insurance investigation, he is just an expert. At making out his expense account, he is an absolute genius.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Nutmeg State Casualty and Bonding Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during investigation of series of accidents affecting your policyholder, the Funfair and Weatherly Carnival shows, or how I went for a spin on a case we might refer to as murder is a merry-go-round. Expense account item 1, 25 cents. Purchase of Billboard, theatrical magazine, to check the route of Funfair and Weatherly Carnival shows. Expense account item 2, $68. Air and train fares to Talladega, Alabama. Item 3, $1.10. Cab fare and what was only a fair imitation of a cab from Talladega Depot to the dusty vacant lot which had overnight found itself wearing theatrical makeup. Brightly as the hot sun beat down on the midway, it couldn't help the layout of canvas and slats from looking beat up. A perspiring mechanic shot sparks of profanity back at an obstinate motor as he tried to get it to roll the giant hoop of a Ferris wheel. I asked him what he knew about the accident of a week before when a car dropped off the same Ferris wheel, badly injuring 3. He was charming.
Listen, pretty boy, don't go getting nosy around here.
The Joe in charge of the electric scooter concession was just as sweet. On the subject of how come one of his scooters blew up a few nights back, sending a citizen to the hospital, he just didn't feel like talking.
If you ain't a cop, start moving. If you are, where's your warrant?
I was just asking the pilot of the giant airplane spin who he thought might have cut the cables the night one of his wallboard gliders took off across the carnival crowd, crashing and busting up a few more customers, when I got a canvassman's version of a sharp answer. A tent stake right behind my ear.
Well, those sleeping beauties waking up, huh?
Who are you?
I thought maybe you'd be sick of asking questions. First, maybe you better answer a few. Before you get up. Number 1, who are you?
A pilgrim from Hartford.
Never mind the double talk, wise guy. What's your name?
My name is Johnny Dollar, but right now I feel like 2 cents.
What's your big interest in those accidents you were asking questions about?
Strictly academic. I'm only representing the insurance company that's paying off on those accidents. Now maybe you'll tell me who you are and where I am.
Ah, thought you guys were smarter. Dollar, I'll let you in on a little secret. Next time you want to find something out on a traveling show, get to the boss first. Asking a lot of questions around a circus or carnival lot is unhealthy.
Where is the boss, Miss Pepper?
Louise is in the other end of this trailer. She'll be right out. Okay, you can get up on your feet.
Oh, thanks. I hope you don't mind if I don't stay up on him. I feel more like sitting down.
Go ahead.
You still haven't told me who you are.
My name's Brennan.
Oh, yeah, Shanty Brennan. Yeah, you're the general manager of the show. They told me all about you. Louisa Pepper's right arm and strong arm. How long will she be?
Yeah, she's getting dressed. Just finished taking a nap. We drove all night to get here. How about having a blast with me while you're waiting?
No, thanks. I haven't enjoyed a noon bottle since I was 2. But don't let me stop you.
Thanks. Oh. You sure you won't have one?
I'm sure. Brennan, the insurance company's been checking up on your show. The police chiefs in the last 10 towns you've played say it's a clean one.
We haven't got a pickpocket or a grifter on the lot.
But plenty of trouble, huh, during those past 10 stops?
At least once a night somebody's got hurt. But never any of us. It's always 1 or 2 of the townies, the citizens. Last night a car on the whip cut loose. That sent 4 to the hospital.
Uh-huh. 4 more insurance claims for nutmeg state casualty and bonding, huh?
Yeah, and 1 more town we won't be able to play again for a couple of years. It's a wonder we didn't travel out of that town last night by rail, tarred and feathered.
For 10 straight nights now, you've had at least 1 big accident every night. What's your guess, Brennan? Has fate taken a steady job on your show, or is somebody out to get you?
Somebody's out to get us.
Okay, well, do you have any idea?
Hello. Oh. Why didn't you tell me we were entertaining a gentleman, Shanty? I'd have put on some more clothes.
It would have taken a lot more clothes to cover all there was of Louisa Pepper. She looked like an aging Cupid doll, but even in a carnival, she was no prize. I didn't like the look in her eye. It looked much too friendly. So right away, I decided to change the unspoken subject. Miss Pepper, I'm here on business, insurance.
Sorry, we're not buying any.
And I'm not selling any. The way things have been going, the insurance company I represent would probably like to buy some of yours back.
Oh?
Yeah. I'm from the Nutmeg State Casualty, investigating the accidents.
Hope you find out more than we've been able to, and fast, before we go broke. The word's traveling 1 town ahead of us. They got us pegged for a dangerous midway.
Have you been using police protection?
20 extra cops a night at $10 a cop. So, night before last, a guy winds up with a hammer to try and ring the bell and win a cigar. The top of the hammer flies off and almost brains a cop. Around this show, the police need protection.
I see what you mean. How are you fixed for people who don't like you? We got many to choose from?
Dollar, we treat our help fair and square. We know them all and trust them all.
Fire anybody lately?
Nobody. The only ones who left were floaters. But none of them had a beef.
Okay, Miss Pepper. Now think back. In all your life, who do you know who'd most like to see you have a real bad time?
Only one guy. And he's not around.
Dead?
As good as. He's in jail. Has been for the last 8.5 years.
That's a long time. How long did he go up for?
10 years.
What are you thinking, Dollar?
I'm thinking that with time off for good behavior, maybe he's not in jail.
Not in jail? Shanty, he's got to be in jail. He's got to be, I tell you. You told me you were keeping...
All right, break it up, Louisa. If Carter Lacey had a voice as sharp as yours, he could saw his way out of jail. Okay, Dollar, you made a guess. How about seeing how good it is?
Sure. I'll find out if your bogeyman is still in jail, but I didn't catch that name.
Lacey. Carter Lacey.
And where's he been in the pokey?
Massachusetts State Prison, at Charleston.
Well, what did he go up for?
What's that to you?
Cut it, Louisa. Dollar, we sent Carter Lacey to jail for attempted murder. He tried to kill Louisa's niece, Myrtle.
Is she around?
He's running the snake show on the Midway. Dollar, how soon can you check whether Carter got out?
As soon as I can make a telephone call. But, Shanny, before I do, I'd like to elaborate on that guess I made. Now I'd not only guess that Carter Lacey is out of jail, but I'd also guess that he's been out a little over 10 days. Expense account, item 4, $3. Telephone call to Massachusetts State Prison, confirming both of my guesses. Carter Lacey had checked out of the Bay State's Hotel Greystone for bad boys 2 weeks previously. Item 5, $32. Telephone calls to various hotels in the last 10 towns the Fun Fair and Weatherly Carnival shows had played. Item 6, 10 cents. 2 nickels spent calling 2 hotels right here in Talladega. Then I dropped 1 more nickel in the telephone, got the lucky number.
Yes, sir. We do have a Mr. Carter Lacey registered. Room 312. Shall I stop?
And hit the jackpot. Expense account item 7, 65 cents. Cab fare to Sunshine Hotel. Tip the driver, $1. From the lobby, I called room 312. He invited me up. I invited him down. I knew I'd feel better talking to Carter Lacey with a lot of people around. They'd make nice witnesses if he suddenly got homesick for prison life and used me as his ticket back. I waited in the coffee shop. The waitress brought me a cup of coffee, and my palate went to work refereeing a one-sided bout between the strong Java and the weak cream.
Hello. Dollar?
All right. Sit down.
Thanks.
You're Carter Lacey, huh? Have some coffee?
No, thanks. It keeps me awake nights.
How about your conscience? Having the same trouble with that?
My conscience deserves an 8.5-year rest. But it can't start its vacation until I even up a few scores.
Busting up carnivals.
Child's play. Look, Dollar, over the phone, you told me you're an insurance investigator. You can save your company a lot of money.
How?
Call them up and tell them not to insure the lives of 3 people. Because any minute now, 2 of them are going to be dead.
Louisa Pepper, Anise Myrtle, and Shanty Brennan.
Yeah, Dollar. I'm going to kill 2 of those people. The other one's still my friend and is going to help me do it. In case you don't know your law, Dollar, don't bother calling the cops. I can't be held for making a threat unless I put it in writing.
Well, Lacey, I don't know what your beef is against the people running that carnival, but those accidents have been hurting a lot of innocent bystanders.
Dollar, you're talking to a guy who really knows what it means. Getting hurt as an innocent bystander.
Expense account, item 8, $25. Retainer to local detective agency hiring shadow for Mr. Carter Lacey. Explanation, an ounce of crime prevention is worth a ton of trials. Item 9, $1.20. Cab fare back for the evening's festivities at the Fun Fair and Weatherly Carnival, which was rapidly becoming more and more of a thrill show. Expense account, item 10, 30 cents. Down payment on ulcer, eating supper at what the Carney people call a grease joint. I made my way among the trailers that were lined up behind the midway, and as I looked for the one housing Louisa Pepper's snake-charming niece Myrtle, the burning sensation around my heart wasn't all caused by the hot dogs I'd just eaten.
Who is it?
I've got a message from Carter Lacey.
What did you say?
I said I've got a message from Carter Lacey. For you and your Aunt Louisa, Shanty Brennan. You're the only one I haven't met yet, so I thought I'd deliver it to you first.
Where is he?
In town. Got any snakes in the trailer?
No, of course not.
All right, then. How about inviting me?
Are you the insurance guy they told me about?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, come in. What did Lacey say?
He said that he's going to kill 2 of the 3 of you.
Which 2? Didn't he say?
No, he didn't. He just said that 2 of you are going to get it. And that his one friend among you, the remaining one, is going to help him do it.
He'll do it. He hates us. I know he'll kill it. You say Louisa and Shanty don't know yet?
No, they don't. You're the first to know.
Well, then wait here. I'll run tell him. I'll stop back here before I go into the tent to do my next show. Grab yourself a drink. I'll be right back.
But she wasn't right back, and it's just as well she wasn't. She might have interrupted me while taking a sightseeing trip through the drawers in the trailer's built-in bureau. The piles of silky nothings that give gals that certain something didn't tell me anything I hadn't known about women before. But a little black book stashed among them did. I needn't have rushed my search, though, because Myrtle Pepper was still gone after 10 minutes. That's about the time I headed back to her Aunt Louisa's trailer, pulled open the door, and walked in.
You scared me, Dollar, barging in like that.
Mr. Dollar, I told you I'd be right back.
Did Myrtle here deliver Mr. Lacey's little love letters?
Yes, the fool. He always was a fool. He can't kill us.
You mean it's against the law?
I mean, it's impossible, that's all.
Look, Miss Pepper, you and your niece here are both plenty scared. While you're out shaking those cooch dancers you got working over on the midway. Myrtle, have you told Shanty about Lacey's threat?
Yeah, I met him on the way over here. Asked him if he'd feed my snakes before showtime. They're dangerous to work with if they're hungry. Yeah, I told him. He said he'd join us here.
What did he say when you told him?
He said if Lacey had one of us helping him, then the 3 of us had better stick together so we could at least watch each other.
Smart man. He had a good idea. I see the 3 of you had better stick close to each other, beginning right now. Come on.
Where are we going?
Over to the snake tent. And when we get there, Myrtle, you'll be the only one of us who'll be among friends. The 3 of us left Louisa's trailer. We walked past the back of the shooting gallery concession right in the front of it. And along the back of the line of canvas shanties. We stopped at one. Myrtle pulled back the canvas flap, and I stepped in ready for anything. With the ladies not far behind me, I edged slowly over to the square red board fence set up in the center of the tent. There were danger signs splashed in white paint along the outside walls of the pit. I clenched my teeth and looked down through the wire mesh top at a slithering tangle of writhing, angry reptiles. And there, lying among them with a vicious red welt splashing his forehead, was Shanty Brennan. He was feeding his snakes, all right.
In just just a moment, we'll return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. But first, here is some news. 30 minutes of new thrills will be added to CBS 10 great Sunday night entertainments this coming Sunday. At 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you formerly heard Spike Jones, CBS will bring you screen star John Lund in an adventure-packed tale of a ship filled with terror and horror. This story, A Shipment of Mute Fate, starring John Lund, is the first of 3 special broadcasts from CBS' famous Escape series. It will be heard over most of these stations immediately preceding a familiar show which brings you a different kind of escape, The Jack Benny Show. And now, back to yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
I'd just seen a murder mystery where the actors had been hissing instead of the audience. The lead character in that snake pit wasn't going to win any Academy Award. The scene of the crime was no place for a man, let alone a woman, so I herded Auntie Louisa and her niece Myrtle out of the tent and back into the trailer.
Oh, poor Jetty. Oh, horrible.
Yes, I was wrong, Dollar, when I said Carter Lacey couldn't do it.
What's going to happen to us?
According to what Lacey told me, Myrtle, what's supposed to happen is only going to happen to one of you.
What do you mean?
Well, he claims that one of you is in this with him, and that one knows she's safe. This may turn out to be an acting contest between you two.
What's that crack supposed to mean?
Well, the one who's safe wouldn't want anybody to know she feels safe, huh?
Oh. I wish I had learned to cry.
Louisa, you don't think it's me?
Well, I know it ain't me.
Oh, ladies, how about observing a moment of silence in memory of the deceased while I give you a few instructions? Okay. Have you got a gun in here, Louisa?
Yes, and a license to carry it.
Good. Where is it? The gun, not license.
I won't give it to you.
Well, if you don't, people might get to thinking that you're Carter Lacey's girlfriend and accomplice. Anyway, I don't want the gun to take with me. I want to leave it here. Where is it?
In that drawer right over there.
Which end of the drawer?
What's the matter with you, blind? You'll see it.
I'm not turning my back on you. Which end?
You'd make a lousy trapeze out of Dollar. You don't take any chances. This end, toward me.
Thanks. Well, now where are the keys to the car hitched to the front of this land yacht?
What are they for, Dollar?
Just another chance I'm not taking. With those keys in my pocket, this trailer won't be joyriding anybody off into the night. Where are they?
I'll get them for you.
Wait a minute, Myrtle. How come you know where Louisa's keys were?
Yeah, Myrtle. How come?
Why, because... Well, they're laying right there in plain sight.
Oh. Thanks. Now I'm going out and call the police. Louisa, I want you to get into that chair down at the other end of the trailer.
Okay, General. You got the gun.
And you, Myrtle, get on that bunk down at the other end.
I don't understand all this.
And now, ladies, while I'm gone, I don't want one of you gals to be knocking off the other. But on the other hand, I can't leave you here without protection. So I'm leaving the gun right here on this table in the middle of the trailer. And if Carter Lacey comes knocking at your door, you can have yourselves a race for the gun. Expense account, item 11, 5 cents. Telephone call to the local police, plus another nickel spent calling a taxi. The cops arrived in 4 minutes, the cab in 15. Its driver had no siren to take him through the traffic lights. Item 12, $1.10. Cab fare on an exceedingly slow and torturous trip to the Sunshine Hotel. Tip to his kind of a driver, a nickel. I went up to the 3rd floor and headed down the hall to Carter Lacey's room, 312. I rapped for an entrance, but all that came back was an echo. The lock on the door was the soft touch type known to the trade as the burglar's friend, so I went in. Stars fell in Alabama? Oh. Stiffs fell in Alabama tonight. Oh, Operator, this is an emergency call. Let me have the Talladega police, will you? Hello? Police department? This is the same guy who just called you from the carnival to report a murder. Yeah, well, you can send in the second team. I've got another one for you over here at the Sunshine Hotel. Room 312. The party's just been strangled. Yes, I'm sure. Lots of bruises and deep-set fingernail marks on the throat. Sure, I know who it is. The name of the deceased is Myrtle Pepper. Myrtle Pepper certainly had been a fast worker. She not only had beat me down to the hotel, she'd managed to get herself killed in the bargain. I dusted the room for information, which was obviously more than the floor mate had done for dirt, and came up with a kind of an eye-opener you don't drink. A pint-sized surprise in the form of some old newspaper clippings and Carter Lacey's prison release form. And what let him out let me in on something. I got out of the room into the elevator, and when I hit the lobby wondering where to start looking for him, I found him sitting there looking at me.
Hi.
What do you want to talk, Lacey?
I don't want to. But if you want to try and make me, what's the matter with right here?
Okay. I supplied you with an alibi today. I don't see him in the lobby.
That detective? He had stomach trouble. He got kicked in it. You can reach him at the city hospital. You know, in prison, I was a trustee. I get out, nobody trusts me.
Oh, with that forecast you gave me this morning, what else?
Forecast?
Yeah. You predicted that you'll kill 2 people. Well, tonight the 2 people are dead. Shanty out at the carnival, and now Myrtle up in your room. What does that make you?
A good forecaster.
Or the killer, maybe?
Thanks for the maybe. Look, Dollar, I came to this town to take care of something. I took care of it. If you want to yell cop, go ahead. From now on, nothing bothers me.
Well, then stop chewing your nails. You told me this morning that one of those 3 people was working with you. There's only one left. And suddenly, Lacey, I don't believe your story.
Suddenly, I don't care.
Shanty Brennan lied to me this morning. He said that you went to prison on a charge of attempted murder. Your prison release papers say you went up for grand larceny.
You see what happens to bad little boys that tell lies?
I'm not through yet. I fished a bank book out of Myrtle Pepper's trailer, a 3-way joint account. Myrtle, Shanty, and Louisa. The first deposit, $60,000. The date, the same year you were thrown into the can for stealing $60,000. To me, that spells a 3-way split for them and a frame for you. Also, to you, it spells a motive for hating all 3 of them.
So I lied to you. What are you going to do, wash my mouth out with soap?
From now on, I don't need any answers from you, including smart ones. But look, you'd better stick around. If the cops don't pick you up for murder, maybe the hotel will want to press charges against you for having an extra unregistered person occupying your room.
Who is it?
Johnny Dollar.
Oh, wait a minute. Miss Carter. They arrested him? Tell me, did he escape?
He's at the hotel, and the cops are on their way down there right now. I hope he's more talkative with them than he was with me.
You talked to him?
Yeah, I had a long, one-sided conversation with him. There's one thing I still can't quite figure out. Whether he really intended to kill Shanty and Myrtle or not.
Myrtle?
Yeah, strangled.
Myrtle. Oh, poor little angel. Of course he meant to kill him. He hated him. He hated us all.
Well, you can hardly blame a fellow for being annoyed, framed on a grand larceny trap by 3 old chums. But you've got the wrong idea, Louisa. What I meant was, did he ever really intend to kill them himself? Or did he just intend to set off the greatest chain reaction since the atom bomb, and just sit back and watch the 3 of you try to beat each other to it?
Well, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, like a fox, maybe. He made his threat to me knowing I'd carry it back to you. I say you because you're the only one left. You see, he set himself up as a patsy. He'd been framed by you once before. To me, it looks like Carter Lacey learned a few things about wrong people during that 8-year stretch. Namely, that they never trust each other.
You're absolutely nuts, Dollar. I think you'd better get out of here. Go peddle your insurance. The cops will take care of Mr. Lacey.
I don't think they will, Louisa.
Why not?
Myrtle was strangled. That's the kind of murder a man would commit.
Well?
But there was a set of deep fingernail marks on her throat. And Carter Lacey bites his nails. So maybe you'd better get yourself a manicure before the police arrive.
Thanks for the advice. Stand right there, Dollar. This time I got the gun.
Hold everything, Louisa.
Carter!
This is a standoff, Louisa. Point that thing someplace else before I point mine up your snoot. Okay, Dollar, get out.
What's the matter with you, Lacey? Are you cracking up? Your plan was going along fine. First, Myrtle tossed Shanny to her snakes. Then Louisa took care of Myrtle. There's only one left, and the state will take care of her for you.
That's not enough. There's one satisfaction I haven't enjoyed so far. That's hearing one of these pigs squeal.
Carter, we can still split the money in the show and get out of here?
The only one that's going to get out of here is Dollar. Beat it.
I beat it all right. I was the only one in the trailer without a gun. I plunged into the darkness looking for something and came up with a tent rope, dashed back to the trailer door, and lashed the knob to the guide rail. I didn't want those gun-happy birds flying the coop. Just then, the season opened. I didn't know who was going to come out the worst in there, the hunter or the hunted. The only key I had to the situation was the key to the car, the one I'd picked up earlier in the day. The car churned the trailer through the carnival back lot and out into the highway. When I hit the cement, I started spinning the rubber. Just as we hit the streets of the sleeping city, things woke up. Whoever was left back there snapped a shot at me through the trailer's front window. The second shot was my cue to try to ruin their aim by playing rockabye trailer, swinging the car from one side of the street to the other. Just as the not-so-sharp shooter made another try, I picked up just what I was looking for, a game of tag with a police patrol car. Expense account, item 13, 15 cents, bicarbonate of soda. Those Midway hot dogs I'd had for supper were no thoroughbreds. Item 14, $35, cigars for night shift. Talladega police, for whom I had started things smoking. Item 15, $3, hotel bill. Oh, but never let it be said that I ever turned in a measly $3 hotel bill for myself. This was to check out of the Sunshine Hotel, the man who had checked out in the trailer at the hands of Louisa Pepper. Louisa Pepper, the only one who was a good bet to catch up with Brennan, who had been murdered by Myrtle. And Myrtle, who had been loused up by Louisa. And Carter, whom she had also carted out of this world, proving that when you start any kind of chain reaction, you should be careful, because you're never going to be sure where it's going to stop. Expense account total? What? Only $692.18. I must be slipping. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
The madman of music is moving. Yes, Spike Jones, formerly heard on CBS on Sunday, is already unpacking his famous collection of flit guns, dishpans, and other instruments, ready for tomorrow night's premiere broadcast as a CBS Saturday star. Hear the Spike Jones Show on most of these same stations tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, when it joins Vaughn Monroe, Gene Autry, Gangbusters, and Sing It Again as a regular Saturday night CBS feature. Listen in again next week when CBS brings you Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, with Charles Russell as Johnny. Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar is written by Paul Dudley and Gil Doud, with music by Mark Warnow, and is produced and directed by Richard Sandville for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Time now for Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. The next half hour has its baggage packed to take a trip with America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At Insurance Investigation, he's just an expert. At making out his expense account, he's an absolute genius.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Frederick Kimball, General Manager of Fine Arts Insurers Incorporated, New York, New York. The following is an accounting of my expenditures in the investigation of the stolen portrait of the Duke of Massen, or who opened the season on canvasback dukes. Expense account, item 1, $350, plane fare, New York to London. Item 2, $125, replacement, brand new light tan topcoat, borrowed and not returned by fellow passenger during flight. We had cleared Gander, Newfoundland, and were 4 hours out, flying at 20,000 feet over the Atlantic, with a night in the weather, fighting it out to see which could darken the sky first. Most of the passengers were asleep, but the rough weather was giving the man in the seat beside me a rough time. Although the plane had leveled off, his dinner was still trying to gain altitude. Among other things, he complained of chills, so I slipped out of my topcoat and threw it around his shoulders.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry to be such a bother. I think I'll try a drink of water.
Okay, I'll buzz for the steward.
No, don't bother. She's up forward. Maybe the walk back will do me some good. I'll be right back.
I'll be here. My seatmate had carried his constitutional too far. He stepped out for a breath of fresh air. I didn't think anybody could get sick enough to do that. By the time I got to the back of the ship, the rear seat passengers were milling around the aisle, all of them claiming not to know anything about what had happened. I didn't either. But if my ex-friend hadn't out of the plane, he'd been pushed. And that posed this tantalizing question. If he'd been pushed, and since he'd been wearing my light tan topcoat, was I the one who was supposed to be taking that 20,000-foot swan dive into the Atlantic? I looked over the passengers, and to me, they all looked guilty. But I knew they couldn't be. I also knew I had no chance of finding out which one was. When things settled down, everybody started asking the stewardess for sedatives to help them get back to sleep. I asked her for some black coffee to keep awake. By 4 o'clock the next afternoon, I was in good health in London and in the office of your policyholder, Dexter Morley.
Yes, I've been expecting you, Dollar. Your company cabled that you were coming. They're very generous of them to send you all the way over here to help.
The way I have to pay at my expense account to make an honest living. Don't ever accuse my clients of generosity.
Oh?
Oh, no. They aren't being soft-hearted benefactors. They're being hard-headed businessmen. If that painting stays lost, it'll cost them $250,000.
Well, I'd better brief you from the beginning.
Oh, if I yawn during your story, Morley, don't mind. I'm just sleepy.
I see. Very well, I'll make it brief, Dollar. Well, during my lifetime, I've developed an overwhelming appreciation for fine painting. Unfortunately, I have not been able to develop the fortune that should go with it. As a result, I haven't only not been able to paint great paintings, I've not been able to afford to travel to the museums around the world where the great masterpieces hang.
I guess there must be a lot of people stuck in the same fix.
Exactly, and that's what gave birth to my plan. I have organized what you might call the Masterpiece of the Month Club. Its members are 12 of the top museums and galleries in the world. This plan calls for them to rotate their most famous paintings. In other words, if the people can't afford to come to the pictures, my scheme brings the pictures to the people. A new one, every month.
Oh, that's very interesting, Mr. Morley. But let's talk about the one that got away.
Oh, yes, of course. I was merely outlining the background of this case to delineate my responsibility in the matter.
Well, so now we know that you feel personally responsible for the loss of the painting, even though it's well insured.
Mr. Dollar, no amount of money can get that picture repainted by the man who originally painted it. The artist, Bonnet, has been dead for more than 300 years.
Oh, a real gone guy.
Well, if we fail to recover Bonnet's masterpiece, the Duke of Massen, it would not only be a tremendous shock, but also a tremendous loss to the world of art. Further, it would ruin my reputation. The very first painting to be loaned arrives here in London from Paris 4 days ago, and the first night after I deliver it to the museum, it is stolen off their wall.
Okay, Mr. Morley. So much for the story. Where's the museum?
It's the New Art Gallery at Coventry. Here's the address. I won't be able to accompany you myself as I'm flying across the channel immediately to try to calm the officials in Paris, the ones who loaned the stolen painting. They've been calling incessantly. I'll phone my assistant, Miss Harding, to meet you at the main entrance in the museum at, let's say, 45 minutes.
Okay. Tell her I'll be the man asleep on the step. Expense account, item 3. Sixpence halfpenny, London papers. To read while waiting for Miss Harding at museum entrance. No matter what I told Mr. Morley, I was afraid to go to sleep. Page 1 of each newspaper referred to my reason. The misadventure which had occurred on a plane the night before. A possible attempt on my life. Then along came another good reason for my lids not drooping. Miss Harding was an eye-opener. Speaking in artistic terms, no painter could completely capture her dimensions. A sculptor could come closer. As far as I was concerned, so could she. And she did.
Would you see Mr. Dollar?
It would indeed.
I'm Miss Harding. Mr. Morley indicated that I might find you asleep. I say that must have been a shocking experience on the way over.
Oh, not only shocking, but frustrating.
Oh?
Yes, there was nothing much that could be done. We circled long enough to drop a few life rafts, some flares, and a big blob of yellow oil to help mark the spot. Then all the pilot could do was call for the Air Sea Rescue boys and hope.
Yes, it's been in all the papers the whole day. Poor chap.
Yeah, it could be that there, but for the grace of a light tan topcoat, go I.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Well, shall we go museum prowling?
Yes, of course, though. Well, there isn't much to see, just a blank space on the wall.
Well, let's take a look anyway. Hey, did you see a blank space on the wall?
Why, yes.
You mean they stole the painting frame and all?
Indeed, they did.
Oh. Art thieves are doing things the hard way these days. Usually they just cut the painting out of the frame, stick it under the coat, and make a getaway.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, I know. But perhaps this job was done by a beginner, or perhaps the burglar was interrupted and had to make a run for it, frame and all. There are infinite possibilities.
Yes, infinite. Thanks.
Mr. Dollar, frankly, I think this trip here to the museum is an utter waste of time. I've gone over the whole situation with a gentleman from Scotland Yard. There isn't so much as a single fingerprint.
Miss Harding, I have yet to solve the case with a fingerprint.
Sorry, I forgot. Men just can't stand to see any show of efficiency in a woman.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. It's according to what they find their efficiency.
I'm speaking of business. Mr. Dollar, I'm sure that I can save you a great deal of trouble. I've already done an extraordinary amount of research on this case.
Well, be careful what you tell me, Miss Harding. At this point, I confuse easily.
Mr. Dollar, a child could understand what I have to tell you.
Sometimes a wide-awake child is better than a sleepy man. But go ahead.
Now, this is the place, right here.
No.
There. You see? A blank wall. Now, Mr. Dollar, of the 12 foremost art thieves in London, I have discovered that 9 are currently in prison. 1 is in hospital after falling 4 stories off a roof, and the other 2 are at large and may be found residing at the addresses I have here.
Hey, you sound more like a patron of the criminal courts than you do of the arts.
The entire subject of criminology fascinates me. Now, have you seen enough of your blank wall?
Yep, things are blank enough. Give me those addresses. And while you're at it, maybe you better give me yours.
Mr. Dollar, you don't think I look suspicious?
Oh, no. Delicious. Expense account, item 4. 5 shillings. Cab fare to Scotland Yard. Tip to driver, 2 bob. When it comes to money, I speak all languages. Scotland Yard from the outside looked like a big public school. Well, it has taught a lot of lessons to a lot of people. Inside, it was tea time. When I inquired for the officer in charge of the robbery with which I was concerned, I was led to an Inspector Carew. First, he gave me a cup of tea. Then he gave me my lumps.
Mr. Dollar, you sit here and ask me why we haven't done something. Believe me, sir, the yard is not as archaic as its architecture. There's a simple legal procedure which must occur before we can make either an investigation or an arrest.
Well?
First, a complaint must be lodged by the legal owners of any stolen property. At that point, and at that point only, are we allowed to act.
You mean nobody called for help?
Well, naturally, when the museum discovered the painting gone, they immediately rang us up. We went to court to gather primary evidence. Unfortunately, there was none.
Well, what about the owners of the painting, the museum in Paris?
As yet, we've heard nothing. We expect to momentarily.
Inspector, just out of curiosity, what about this girl, Miss Harding?
I'd say she's, a jolly fine type.
I mean, do you know anything about her?
I say, didn't you Yanks carry off enough of our girls after the war?
I'm not in the importing business. I mean, is she known to you professionally?
What? You suspect her?
Well, not particularly, but she did give me this list. In her opinion, this is the who's who and where they are of your city's light-fingered art lovers.
Let me see it.
Well,
Quite complete and quite accurate. Hardly the work of an amateur. Where in the world would a young lady like Miss Harding come into such information?
That, Inspector Carew, is exactly what I'm driving at. Back in a taxi headed from Scotland Yard on my way to check into the Mount Royal Hotel, I gave my eyes a rest at the risk of missing the sightseeing, but my mind refused to follow suit. It now had 3 blank walls to stare into. The one in the museum, the one at Scotland Yard, and the most provocative of the 3 to look at, the girl who knew too much, Miss Muriel Harding. My mind also kept ruffling my nerve ends with a question. Was I supposed to be the guy who got dumped out of that plane the night before? We arrived at the Mount Royal Hotel, and I got my answers.
Here we are, sir. That's the Mount Royal, right? Dead on, across the way. You can't miss it.
Okay. What's the bill?
To you, sir? That'll be half a crown.
How much?
2 and 6 cents.
Oh, here. You figure it out.
God, ever so, Governor. Look out, Governor. Mind that car.
That was a close one.
You all right, Governor?
Yeah.
Blimey, since the cars are back on the street, it's more dangerous to walk around now than it was when them ruddy buzz bombs were dropping.
Yeah, a couple of good things about the buzz bombs, though. Nobody aimed them at you personally, and nobody was at the wheel to steer them. That made it official. I had been set up for a pigeon, and it was me somebody had tried to turn into a seagull during that flight across the Atlantic. Expense account item 5. £3.10 to bellboy for services rendered. How about that? $14 for a bottle of scotch. I knocked off 40 winks. It felt like only 20. Then I grabbed a shower, shave, and a cab down Oxford Street and over to Soho. Expense account item 6. 5 shillings, the legal limit on the price of dinner in England these days. I ate in a nice place called Kettner's. Dinner being a bit of chicken, 3 choices of vegetables. Brussels sprouts boiled, Brussels sprouts creamed, and Brussels sprouts roasted. For dessert, I looked at the names and addresses of Miss Harding's 2 candidates for the boys most likely to have succeeded in swiping the missing portrait of the Duke of Massen. I was in the right district for one of them. I found myself in a dark and lonely mews. That may sound good to you, but in Soho, a mews is still only a place fit for ash cans and cats. I groped my way up the stairs to the address of the number 1 boy on Miss Harding's list. On the top step, I was breathing hard. It wasn't all from the climb. I clenched my teeth, my knuckles, and knocked on the door. Then I broke roll 2, the basic instructions for the working snoop. I opened the door. That lock never went to Yale. The door of a wood-burning stove across the room was open, the flames erratically painting the walls with orange light, then erasing them back into black darkness. I finally dared to breathe. Then I saw what I was looking for, lying on a table, its edges curled upward. An oil painting of a guy with short breeches and a long face. I started forward, but something bored my foot. I stared down at the floor in front of me. First it was pitch black. Then the light from the stove flared up, and I saw that the object was what I thought it was and hoped it wasn't. A man, wearing his head, and I don't mean his hair, parted in the middle. I rushed across the room, flipped the lid off the top of the stove to give me more light, to look for a telephone. There was none in the room with a corpse, so I tried the door of the next room. And the door I was trying started erupting.
In just a moment, we'll return to the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. But first, we want to remind you that those delightful, charming neighbors, Ozzie and Harriet, are coming back home next Sunday night, coming back to CBS. You'll be able to join them on most of these same stations at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, just before the Jack Benny Show. Ozzie and Harriet now have their own sons, Ricky and David, playing themselves in place of the young actors who formerly portrayed them. So make it a party for your whole family when Ozzie and Harriet, Ricky and David come home with their fun and laughter to CBS next Sunday night. And now, back to yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
When those bullets came crashing through the door at me, I dropped to the floor. I still don't know whether my knees buckled or I meant to go down. I stayed where I was. But whoever it was on the other side of that door decided to take off. Out the window. I got to my feet, but by the time I kicked the door open and got to the window, I had that old Mother Hubbard feeling. The cupboard was bare. And that's what I'm doing here in your flat, Miss Harding. After my little adventure, the first thing I did was to call the police. And the second was to come here to call on you, the girl who steered me into that shooting gallery.
Well, you needn't sound so annoyed at me. Of course, I advised you to go there, but after all, it was your duty. And you did recover the picture.
And almost lost my health doing it for the third time.
Really?
Yes, really. First, somebody tried to make a seagoing paratrooper out of me. Then they tried to make me part of the pavement by running me down with an auto. And now tonight, somebody on the other side of a door tries to turn it into my personal copy of the Pearly Gate. That's really enough for me.
Mr. Dollar, where is the painting now?
At Scotland Yard. And now let's change the subject back. What's bothering me is bothering me plenty. I want to know who didn't want me to find that picture and why.
Why, it seems elementary.
Thank you, Dr. Watson.
The thief naturally didn't want you to find it.
Miss Harding, please. When I got shot at, the apparent thief was dead.
Well, they do have henchmen, you know.
If he was killed by an accomplice, why did the killer leave the painting?
I'd have no way of knowing.
Of that, I'm still not sure.
Oh, really, Mr. Dollar, come off it. You hardly suspect me.
I suspect you less if you'd stop saying that. At this point, I suspect everyone. Even Dexter Morley, of dreaming up this whole painting of the month scheme to bring those paintings within stealing distance.
Oh, but that's utterly ridiculous.
I know. If that was the plan, he'd wait until he had more than one picture on the road to steal. That's why I don't suspect him.
Well, frankly, I don't see why you continue to worry. After all, your part of the job is done, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But I still have a yearning burning deep down inside of me to break somebody's neck. Mind if I use your phone?
Of course not. Help yourself.
Thanks.
Transatlantic overseas operator.
Hello, I want to talk to New York. Don't worry, I'll call collect. My name is Johnny Dollar. I want to place a collect call to New York. Number is Plaza 6, 9184.
Check this, please, sir. Your name is John Dollar. New York number you're calling is Plaza 69184. And the call is collect, correct?
Correct. Collect.
Right you are, sir. We shall ring up immediately if there's a clear circuit. Thank you.
They'll call me.
Well, while you're waiting, you should probably do with a bracer. Do you care for a drink?
What have you got?
Oh, gin and orange, gin and lemon, gin and Italian, or gin and French. No whiskey.
No, thanks.
Well, come and sit down over here. Very restful.
It's more restful in the eyes where I am. Here, I can have a better look at you. However...
Why, Mr. Dollar, you can be charming. Do you mind if I change the mistress of Johnny? It sounds much more fun.
I'll swap you one Johnny for every Muriel you let me use.
It's a bargain. Now, tell me about yourself. Your line of work fascinates me. I'm an absolute bug on criminology.
At the moment, Muriel, that happens to be my unfavorite subject. Let's talk about you.
Where shall I begin?
Just after the age of 21?
You're a saucy type. At the age of 21, I was serving in the WAF.
Huh?
The Women's Air Force.
Oh, you must have had a lot of exciting adventures.
Rather.
What was the most exciting?
Oh, I think perhaps the night the young U.S. Air Force captain kissed.
Oh, one of the boys of the Wild Blue yonder. Maybe it was the blue of your eyes that made him wild.
Johnny.
I know how he must have felt.
Hey, Johnny.
I'll be right back.
All right, darling.
Hello?
Are you there?
Of course I'm here.
Mr. Dollar?
That's right.
We're ready with your call to New York. We shall signal at the end of 3 minutes. Are you ready to talk?
The minute you stop.
Right you are, sir. Carry on.
Hello? Hello? Is this the Fine Arts Insurers? I want to talk to Mr. Kimball.
Yes, Dollar. I'm on the line. Go ahead.
Well, you can stop worrying, Kimball. I got the painting back.
You say you did get it back?
That's right. It's safe. All you'll have to pay is the price of a new frame.
But that you say, what happened to the frame?
Well, the guy who swiped it took the painting out of the frame. I don't know where it is.
Well, ask the culprit what he did with it.
I can't. He's dead.
Well, then look for it. That frame itself is worth $10,000. It was insured along with the painting.
Okay, Fred. Don't blow out any bridge work. I'll look around for it.
Give it everything you've got, Dollar.
You're too near doing that already.
What do you say?
Okay, Fred. I'll cable you what happens. Goodbye. Well, Muriel, vacation's over. I just got put back to work.
I gather from your conversation you want to send you chasing off into the night to look for the picture frame.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. The thief had probably already found it somewhere in that fellow's flat.
I'll check that. But my work is personal service.
Oh, must you go, Johnny? It's only 10:30. Couldn't you put it off till morning?
Well, there's nothing I'd like better, but...
Couldn't you stay even for a little while?
Well, just long enough to calm my nerves. Big Ben was ringing up midnight on Time's greedy cash register when I finally cleared with a bobby guarding the back alley flat that had not so long before given up one unprecious life and one very precious painting. The place was darker than it had been on my previous visit, and when I groped for the electric switch, I realized why. There had been a brisk fire blazing before. In the bottom grate of the stove, I found enough unburned portions of the hot picture frame to justify my conclusions. And I found something else that came under the category of hot rocks. Expense account, item 7. Cab fare to the office of Dexter Morley. The front door was not only locked, it was barred. However, at the back of the building, I had better luck. A loose window down to the basement. I had broken a law, but I didn't want to break my neck, so I snapped on a light. The basement was loaded with cabinet-making equipment. But for my dough, they weren't making any cabinets. There was a bench with a power drill, and on the floor below it, a pile of sawdust and wood shavings. That was normal enough, but the sawdust pile was glinting with tiny specks of crystallized glue. With what I had now, all I had to find was Dexter Morley. He made that easy. He found me.
Stay down there, Dollar. Right where you are.
Well, welcome home from that trip to Paris you didn't take. That gun in your hand suggests that I'm right about one thing, anyway.
Yes, and what would that be?
That whoever took those shots at me earlier tonight was probably not an Englishman. The bobbies over here don't carry guns, which makes most English mugs afraid to. You're an American.
That's interesting, but hardly valuable.
I've got some more. How valuable is this? I think you're in on, or at the head of, a very high-class smuggling racket. And I think you set up that painting of the month scheme of yours to establish just about the neatest method of smuggling that I've ever heard of.
You're very generous, but I know how I operate, so what you could tell me about it could do nothing more than bore me. What I want from you are the diamonds.
Maybe I can trade you. Some diamonds for some answers.
You're in no position to bargain. Give me the diamonds or I'll shoot you and take them off you.
No, wait a minute. I'd better explain my bargaining position. And I think you'll admit it's not the worst. Since you must have followed me here, you know I took a cab from the murder flat. One without a taillight, so you don't have the number. But, brother, I do. And the diamonds are jammed down behind its back seat. Now, let's bargain.
Why, you... All right. What do you want to know?
Just let me do the guessing, and check me if I'm wrong. You set up a chain of famous paintings which would move around the world through your branch offices. As each one passed through your hands here, the frame was to be dismantled and holes bored in it at the joints for the purpose of smuggling diamonds. Right so far?
Yes, Dollar, right. But remember, the more you are right about, the worse it is for me. So naturally, the worse it is for you.
We'll take care of that later. This scheme of yours is fascinating. The stuff moves around the world in the picture frames, under official armed guard, and enjoying virtual diplomatic immunity through customs. It's great.
It would have been great if it hadn't been for that heavy-handed oath.
Oh, that fills in a missing link. From out of the night comes a burglar, steals your first loaded picture, shoves the frame into his stove to get rid of it. You arrive, cream him with your gun, then I arrive, interrupting you before you get what you want out of the burning frame, and then...
You saw what happened to him when he resisted me, Dollar. But now you must realize that I won't hesitate a moment.
It works the other way, doesn't it? You kill me, who tells you the number of that taxi? And without it, you'll never get your diamond.
There are ways. Keep your hands behind you. Painful. I thought so. Your head will wear out before this gun barrel does. Now, feel more like talking?
Just enough to tell you one more thing. You can tell that blonde accomplice of yours I was onto her from the start.
Johnny, what do you mean?
What?
Ow!
Don't shoot back.
can't repay you for those 3 tries you made or had made on my life, Morley. But here's what it feels like being hit on the head with a gun. Yeah, rockabye booby. Muriel, look out, you'll fall. I told you. That's a very undignified way for a lady to enter a room, through a basement window.
Johnny, I was only trying to help, and there you were accusing me of being his accomplice after all those nice things you said to me before.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, I followed you. I wanted to see how you worked.
Oh, great. You and your criminology. At least you might have stepped in before you hit me those 2 licks. Look at my head.
Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny. It's just that I love crime.
Well, come on, get up.
Oh.
Would be a crime if Mr. Worley there woke up and I had to put him back to sleep again before the police got here.
Well, what was it all about?
It was about these little black things. I've got a pocket full of them. Here, scrape one of them with your fingernail.
Oh, glass.
Honey, that's the kind of glass a fellow hands his girl when he wants to be engaged to marry her.
Johnny, darling, you mean...
Yes, I mean only that they're diamonds. Expense account, item 8, $350. Plane fare out of attempted matrimony by the party of the second part. Item 9, $25. Gift to Muriel Harding. 2 books, one on the art of crime, the other on the art of cookery, in the hopes that the latter might attract her to the pursuit of a more womanly hobby. Item 10, 10 cents. Broma Seltzer. Purchased upon landing at Gander, Newfoundland. The only thing still fighting me on this case were those Brussels sprouts I had at dinner in London the night before. Expense account total, $1,563.40. If you find any slight discrepancy in this amount, in my favor, blame it on my confusion and lack of understanding of the international rate of exchange. The only thing I like to exchange at this point is my head with its 2 new lumps. Wishing you the same, yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
In just a moment, more about Johnny Dollar. But first, Academy Award winner Jane Wyman comes as guest to the Family Hour of Stars, and Ozzie and Harriet return in triumph to CBS. These are 2 headline-making events for next Sunday night. Add these 2 shows to the top comedy of Jack Benny, the feminine charm and dramatic talents of Helen Hayes and Eve Arden, the ace comedy teams of Amos and Andy and Lemon Abner, and CBS Sunday night makes great news. On top of this, there are the notable mystery capers with Sam Spade, and the laughter with Life with Luigi and It Pays to Be Ignorant. So don't miss a single one of CBS 10 great entertainments next Sunday night when they're heard over most of these same stations. Jack Benny, of course, comes to you over them all. Listen in again next week when CBS brings you Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, with Charles Russell as Johnny. Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar is written by Paul Dudley and Gil Doud, with music by Mark Warnow, and is produced and directed by Richard Sandville for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Time now for Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. The next half hour has its baggage packed to take a trip with America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At insurance investigation, he's just an expert. At making out his expense account, he's an absolute genius.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. To Home Office, Highworthy Insurance Underwriters Association, Hartford, Connecticut. Attention, General Manager Harvey Anthony. Dear Mr. Anthony, here is your problem. The following is an accounting of my expenditures in the case of the $100,000 legs, or who put your company out on the limbs. Expense account, item 1, $60. $20 across the board on a losing horse I was rushed into betting on when you had me paged on the public address system at the racetrack.
This is Harvey Anthony, Dollar. Thanks for calling back so soon.
Now, when they paged me, they said it was an emergency. It better be.
Why? What's the matter, Dollar?
This is my day off. And if I know you, this call is going to make it an off day.
If I know you, my friend, you won't mind this assignment. I want you to go out to Hollywood. Act as a bodyguard for a big movie star, Marilyn Major.
Oh, not a bad body to guard. What's the deal?
We've issued one of those publicity policies. Insured her legs for $100,000. Policy will only be in effect for 48 hours. We want you to stick with her. Just see that she doesn't get mixed up in any hockey games.
I get it.
She's been notified, so she expects you.
Now, when do the 48 hours start?
Tomorrow noon. Can you make it?
Yeah, with the help of American Airlines.
Got enough cash with you to buy your tickets?
About that, I'll know right after the next race. I'll call you from Hollywood. Expense account, item 2, $10. Borrowed from a friend. Taxi fare from the racetrack to town, where I cash check to pay, item 3, $186.13. Plane fare, Hartford to Hollywood. Item 4, $3.50. Cab fare, Los Angeles Municipal Airport to the home of the insured, Miss Marilyn Major, at the Horizon View Apartments on the Sunset Strip. Tip to driver, $1. Miss Major's apartment had the best view of the horizon, it being the penthouse. But her outlook was anything but rosy. I found the apartment door open. First I looked in, then I went in. I want to place a person-to-person call, please, to Mr. Harvey Anthony at Hartford, Connecticut. Volunteer 3-6000. My name is Dollar, as in blood money. While I was waiting to get Mr. Anthony, I wondered who had got Miss Major. In the movies, I'd always thought she looked right at home anywhere. And now, right there in front of me, she was passing her toughest test. Lying there, nice and relaxed. She looked right at home in the role of the beautiful gal who had just been murdered. Her face was calm. Her legs were neatly placed in the best of cheesecake tradition. The only thing not quite as it should have been was a very real bullet hole, which she was wearing where an earring should have been. But the next cameras that would be taking her picture would be police cameras. B pictures. B for bloody.
Mr. Dollar?
Oh, yeah?
Here's your party. Go ahead.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Dollar?
Yeah, this is Dollar, all right. Anthony, first I want to tell you, those legs you insured are still in beautiful shape.
Good, fine.
I only hope you didn't also insure Miss Major's life. She's dead.
What? Marilyn Major dead?
That's right.
Oh, we certainly do insure her life. We only issued that publicity policy on her legs as a courtesy. Dollar, get to work on it right away.
I'll get to work on it, but don't waste too much hope. To me, it looks like your only out is if the policy does not pay off on murder.
Murder? Good heavens. Well, there may be something about the case that'll save us from paying double indemnity for death by violence.
Oh, this is death by violence, brother, any way you look at it. Okay, Anthony, I'll get to work on it right after I call the cops and make a report.
Do your best. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. Well...
Hang up that telephone, mister.
The dame standing in the kitchen doorway had .32 caliber steel in her hand to back up the brass in her voice. She was a youngster, but obviously an old-timer at a lot of things. Her hair was the same color as the murdered woman's, smoke blonde, and her dress was tobacco brown and round and firm and fully packed.
I said put down that phone.
Yeah, sure, okay. Now, you do me a favor, will you? If you feel you want your finger near that trigger, how about moving it up to the front end of the trigger guard, huh?
Mister, I only heard part of what you said, but you're not calling no police.
What makes you think so?
That dame in there's done me enough harm. I came here to kill her, but somebody beat me to it, and I'm not taking the rap.
Okay, so beat it. Who cares? Then I'll call the police. Somebody's going to eventually.
Before I go, I'm finding a few things and taking them with me. Now, come on, get up on your feet, mister. You're coming with me in the bedroom.
Okay. Don't get excited.
Okay, mister. Over against that wall with your face in close and your hands straight up. Come on, move.
All right. You learn this at the movies or by watching your friends work?
Don't be a wise guy. I'm not as dumb as I look. Now, hold still.
Look, sister, by this time I shouldn't still like you well enough to warn you, but what you're doing right now will get you in plenty of trouble, even if you didn't commit this murder.
I'll take that chance.
If you don't get picked up for larceny, they'll still get you for tampering with evidence. As far as the police are concerned, at the scene of a murder, nothing gets touched. They like it that way.
What I'm taking won't even be missed. There are plenty more here just like them. That's all she's gotten here. Love letters from men.
Who are you covering up for? Your boyfriend?
It's none of your business, mister, but it's my husband I'm covering up for.
Well, then you're just plain nuts. If he knew her, they'll find that out. And then if they want him, they'll find him.
Yeah, and they'll find him dead.
Huh?
My husband committed suicide over that no good dame this morning.
Oh.
No, I've had enough out of you. Back up. 2 steps.
Okay.
Now get over there and into that closet. Come on.
Too bad.
What's the matter?
I always feel sorry for a sucker. I felt around in the dark. It was a small closet. That meant not much air. That meant doing something about it. I took my fingernail file, stood it on edge, and slipped it under the door, pressing down the nap of the rug. I did the same with my fountain pen. That would at least allow a small supply of air to sneak into my stuffy little cell. And then I glued my ear to the thin wooden panel that separated me from the bedroom. It wasn't long before my captor apparently completed her search. I heard her pass the closet door and head for the front room. I didn't hear her dial the phone, but it didn't take me long to realize that's what she was doing and who she was calling.
Give me the police. This is an emergency. Hello? Hello, police? I want to report a murder. All right. Hello? There's been a murder. The movie star Marilyn Major in the penthouse. The Horizon View apartment on the Sunset Strip. Never mind who I am. I've caught the murderer. You'll find him locked up in the closet.
From the moment she hung up, I could only guess what was happening. I heard a man's footsteps rush in and then his voice.
Blackmail me, will you cheap little fraud? That's what I'm paying you for these letters. Now I'm taking them with me.
I didn't think I had the time to spend picking the lock on the closet door, so I started kicking. The girl who had just tried to turn me into the cops was lying on her face in front of the telephone stand, and a covey of bullets had turned the brown silk on her back into wet red lace. She'd been shot in the back. And if she'd succeeded in finding her letters, her killer had taken them with him. I made a quick search myself and took a look through the remaining sets of letters. One from a guy who signed himself Baron, and the other one from a guy whose autograph read, "With all my love, Lawrence." My instincts were trying to pull me out of that apartment, but one look down the street threw them into reverse. Black and white prowl cars were arriving, and it was less than another minute when their passengers started pouring out of the elevator and through the front door.
All right, watch out. I'll take you.
All right, come around.
It's in the bedroom closet, boys. Make sure you don't stand in front of that door.
Okay, Lieutenant.
Never mind the closet, Lieutenant. It's empty. I kicked my way out.
All right, let's see your hands. Get them up.
I swear I'm going to buy some stock in a gun company. Everybody's got them.
Miller, get around behind him. Check him for weapons.
Yes, sir. He's clean, Lieutenant.
Okay. Who are you?
Johnny Dollar. And if you lend me back my right hand, I'll give you my ID. It's in my wallet.
Keep him up. Miller, get his wallet.
Yes, sir. Here it is.
Insurance dick, huh?
Please, I'm a freelance special insurance investigator. It sounds better. Keeps my price up.
Hartford, huh? Well, what's your story?
Well, first, I'd like to go on record as saying I didn't commit either one of the murders.
Either one? What are you talking about?
Well, this one here is the girl who phoned in the report that brought you here. The one she was talking about, Marilyn Major, is lying just as dead on the floor in the bedroom.
Miller, get in there and take a look.
Yes, sir.
While he's looking, you keep on talking.
Okay, I'll start from the beginning. I was sent out here by Highworthy Insurance. They just issued a policy on the legs of that dame in the other room. $100,000. Publicity stunt. I was supposed to protect their interests.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what do you think? I was supposed to see that she didn't attempt any Hindu fire dances or try walking any tightropes during the next 48 hours.
Well, your worries are over in that department, at least. What else?
When I got here, the door was open. I walked in and found her, dead.
Any way to prove that? Any witnesses?
Just one. She's lying there behind her.
Uh-huh. Over the phone, she accused you of the murder. That's the wrong kind of a witness.
No, Lieutenant. The wrong kind of dame. She knew I didn't do it. She was somewhere in this apartment when I arrived.
Then why did you say it?
I can hardly ask her. Listen, Lieutenant. She did tell me that she came here to get some letters. Her husband had written them to the major dame. She said she was trying to protect him.
From what?
Who knows? Maybe she just wanted him to rest in peace. The guy committed suicide this morning.
We can't check your story with him, can we? You've got a lot of dead friends. How did this one here get that way?
I'm not sure. While I was in the closet, I heard her call you. And then a man came in and yelled something about blackmail at her and shot her.
And naturally, he had disappeared by the time you kicked your way out of the closet.
That's right.
This story of yours may win some kind of a prize, Dollar, but not for me. I'm not a judge.
That's one thing in my favor.
Hey, Lieutenant, I got something. The dame is dead, all right. And look what I found in that closet. A fingernail file, a fountain pen with a name on it, Johnny Dollar, and a .32 caliber revolver jammed in a shoe.
Well, Dollar, that combination puts you in a kind of jam, too.
Look, Lieutenant, I think I can make you see things my way if you let me go through my story once more. I was sent out here by Highworthy Insurance Underwriters. Expense account, item 4, $3. Candy, gum, cigarettes, and magazines to make cell number 36, Los Angeles City Jail, less like a no place and more like a home. There's something about a jail door closing on you that sounds very final.
In just a moment, we'll return to the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. But first, we want you to know that the biggest jackpot in the history of radio, $50,000, goes in the works tomorrow night when CBS Great Saturday Night Quiz Show Sing It Again comes to you again over most of these same stations. $50,000, $25,000 in marvelous prizes, plus $25,000 in cold, hard cash. And that's only the beginning, because the longer the phantom voice questions elude the listeners, the higher the rewards go. Be sure you're around tomorrow night when Sing It Again sets telephones ringing across the nation, and $50,000 goes riding on each call. And now, back to Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
When I accepted this Hollywood assignment, I visualized spending much of my time gazing upon bars, but not the kind offered by cell number 36. The guy who said stone walls do not a prison make had never been a guest in the Los Angeles City Jail. He had a better chance of getting out of Bartlett's quotations than I had of getting out of there. But, as we keep saying in the insurance racket, never say die. Well, Lieutenant Roach, what are you in for?
I've heard tell the boys around headquarters have a very funny joke about roaches in jails. But that's not why I'm here.
Sit down. Make yourself uncomfortable.
Thanks.
I can't offer you a mint julep. The closest I can come is a spearmint lifesaver.
Oh, thanks. This kind of zero is a pleasure after facing the kind we're up against.
Huh?
So for $1, all we've got to go on is you or a mess of evidence we haven't as yet been able to trace down to its rightful owners. Oh, incidentally, about that gun we thought might be yours.
Oh, don't tell me you're going to give it to me as a birthday present.
It was the weapon used to kill Marilyn Major, all right. The paraffin test we took on your hands let you out. You haven't been firing any guns lately.
Does that mean you've come here to escort me to the front door?
No, not so fast. We do want to know what your fingerprints were doing all over those 2 bundles of love letters we found.
I'm going to have to learn to pick things up with my knuckles. Lieutenant, I just had a natural curiosity as to who killed the cat. The only difference between us, Roach, is that your curiosity is official. How far did you get?
Not far enough. Didn't take much figuring to know that Miss Major has been playing a high-class badger game. All the perfume in the joint couldn't cover up the smell of blackmail. On top of that, we found the 2 batches of letters that you'd been messing around with. One signed Barton, the other signed Lawrence. Those, the fire department should be handling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and remember, there's probably a 3rd set floating around.
Why do you say that?
I'm not an eyewitness to this, only an ear witness. But from what I could hear inside that closet, the dame who came there looking for her husband's letters found them, and she called you to turn me in.
Mm.
On her way out of the apartment, some guy came in, mistook her for Marilyn Major, and shot her in the back. When I kicked my way out of the closet, those letters of hers were gone. So, figures the murderer grabbed the letters out of her hand, thinking there was some he'd written.
Uh-huh. Then in your file, the killer was either that Barron fellow or the other one, Lawrence.
Lieutenant, in my file, they're both murderers. It's just a question of who killed whom. The guy who killed Marilyn Major certainly wouldn't have come back to kill her again, would he?
In this town, you never know.
Look, Lieutenant, I got a 2-way stake in this thing. One, to get my name cleared. The other, to get my job done. And I'm in a hurry. I imagine you are, too.
Well, Marilyn Major was a big name. That means we'll soon have newspapers burning under our seats. We're in a hurry, all right.
Okay, then listen. If I were either one of those murderers, and I know that the police probably had a handful of letters that could send me to the gas chamber, I'd head for the border.
Yeah?
But if I thought an outsider had them, somebody they might be able to buy off or scare off or beat off, then I'd go find that guy.
Well?
Let's bring this thing to a head in a hurry. Run a story in the papers. Tell them you released me. Tell them I escaped. Tell them anything, just so long as you tell them that you suspect that I have those letters hidden someplace.
Well, if you don't mind taking the chance of having 2 murderers gunning after you, we certainly don't.
Oh, I mind. Believe me, I'm not doing you any favors. It's just that I'll feel safer in my own hands.
Okay, Mr. Pigeon, you've got yourself elected. We'll publish that story. Then we'll let you fly the coop.
Good enough. Just make sure that you give me plenty of fighter cover. Expense account, item 6, 7 cents. Purchase of newspaper, an extra edition that hit the street about a half an hour before I did. Item 7, $5. A big square meal to make up for the ones I'd missed, ignoring the little round beans while a guest of the city. Seeing the lieutenant's fiction in black print on the front page of a newspaper almost had me believing it. There was my picture, big as life. And when those birds set up a pigeon, they made sure everybody would know the location of his roost. Firmly planted high in the story was the name of the hotel into which they had registered me, and to which I was under orders to proceed immediately. As I walked down the hotel corridor to my room, I felt an icy chill and a flight of goose flesh headed south down my spine. I expected company, but not your kind. At first, I thought I'd gotten into the wrong room. This kid looked right at home. And she used some of the clothes from a half-packed overnight bag to make her look it.
So you're Johnny Dollar.
Yeah. Thanks for saving me a calling card. Who are you?
Alice Hill.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Otherwise known as Mrs. Lawrence Hill.
Oh, Lawrence. Oh, the last time I saw that name, it said with love, but not to you.
That's why I'm here. I want those letters.
Why aren't you carrying a gun?
It'll be here if we need it.
We?
Yes. My husband's down in the lobby. Look, if you give me those letters he wrote, I'll pack up my little bag and leave, and everybody will be very happy.
Yeah? I think I know the next line, but go ahead.
I hope you keep on being that smart. My husband was watching for you when you came in, so he knows you're up here. Naturally, he knows I'm here, and he's on his way up. We want those letters.
This isn't just a badger game. This is the World Series. If I don't give you the letters, your husband busts in here, shoots me, and I get written off under the unwritten law. Neat, neat, neat.
It's a handy law.
You're right. It's covered a multitude of sins.
Where are the letters?
Where's your husband?
What's the matter with you? What do those letters mean to you?
Well, right now, they look like my only hold on the future, Mrs. Hill. How do I know that you and your dear Lawrence won't kill me after you get them? Do you want me to take your word for it?
Well, I'll have to trust Lawrence. He'll know what to do.
I already know. There's nothing else for him to do. Look, Mrs. Hill, why don't you wise up? Your husband is ready to commit one murder to remove the evident motive for another. And he's dragging you into this with him. You'll wind up an accessory before, after, and during the fact. You're running up a blind alley as fast as you can run.
And it's too late to turn around, so I'll just have to keep running.
Ah, well, here he is. Lace up your track shoes, lady. The race is on. Come in.
All right, sit still. Freeze, both of you.
It's okay, Alice. You can hold off on the dog and pony show. Save it for the witnesses when they arrive. Don't waste it on Lawrence and me.
That isn't Lawrence.
What? Oh, so this must be Barron.
You all through?
That depends on that gun in your hand.
Where are the letters?
Letters. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel like a mailman when he's late getting around in the morning. There's one thing I want to know. Where did an ugly part-time Romeo like you find all those pretty words you wrote?
Look, don't get me sore. I'll blast you, letters or no letters.
That's the tone I was trying to bring your voice up to, Mr. Barron. No letters is exactly what I've got to offer.
He's lying. He admitted to me that he hasn't. He's trying to blackmail you, Barron. That's what he's doing.
Who are you?
Never mind. My husband's in the same boat you are.
I read the papers. Lawrence, huh?
That's right. He'll be here any second. Between us, we'll figure out something.
Now, stay away from it, Dollar.
I'll answer it.
Yeah, good idea. If a man answers, hang up. It'll be Lieutenant Roach.
Wait a minute. Okay, answer it, Dollar. But the first wrong word fires this gun.
Oh, you can believe me. Nothing but right words are on the tip of my tongue. Hello? Whoever was on the other end of the line decided not to talk and hung up. So I started an imaginary conversation with Lieutenant Roach of Homicide. While I was talking, I was thinking. Barron's voice was the voice I'd heard when I was locked in the closet. That made him the guy who shot the girl who turned me in. By the process of elimination, Lawrence Hill was elected murderer of Marilyn Major. During my talk, which made no sense, and my thoughts, which made plenty of sense, I was checking the length of cord on the phone. I needed Barron a little closer, so I started tossing enough dangerous words into the mouthpiece to draw him closer, threatening me with his mutters, his looks, and his gun. He moved into range, and I moved into action. I heaved the base of the telephone straight into his face. I moved in with my knee right after it. Stumbled back, letting go of the gun, which I kicked under the bed. Then I made a break front out of the dresser next to the bed, using his head to break the front. The water from the cracked-up pitcher hit him in the face, but it didn't do him any good. Hey, get out from underneath there. Get away from that gun. Come on. Well, I got a hold of your ankles. I got a good mind to do this thing right and heave you out the window.
Let go of me.
Come on now, stand up.
You. All right, how much do you want? We don't want any trouble. Just let me out of here. We'll pay you anything. My husband's an important man.
So am I. I've had all the pushing around I'm going to take. From now on, I'm the dealer, and your hand is to shut up.
All I want to do is get out of here.
Oh, no, you don't. I baited you. You tried to bait me. Now we'll both sit here and bait your husband. That must have been him that called this room and hung up when he heard my voice. One thing I didn't bother to tell you. Your husband couldn't have known I was up here until then, because I came in the hotel the back way and came up here the back way. Elevator and all.
What do you mean? You baited me?
Why do you think the police put my name, my address, and my picture in the newspapers? To draw autograph on us?
Oh.
Oh is right. Now get over there in the corner while I retrieve Mr. Barron's gun from under the bed before some mouse crawls out of the woodwork and tries taking a shot at me. Go on, get going. Turn around. Okay. Now, if you don't want me shooting runs in your stocking, don't make a move while I'm under the bed. I feel like something that old maids hope for.
Lawrence!
Where is he?
On the floor. He's got a gun. Shoot him. Kill him under the bed. No, Lawrence, not him. Don't worry. He's under the bed.
Under the bed and taking no chances. Listen, Roach, you may be a lieutenant to the police department, but to me, you're just a big, fat private.
Now, calm down, Dollar.
I don't mind setting myself up as a pigeon, but you promised me protection. Where was it?
Temper. Now, who's who here? Let's get these stiffs sorted out, then we can talk.
There's only one stiff. The other one, the one near the door, is Lawrence. He's only wounded. I had to shoot his pins out from under him. He came crashing in and killed Barron by mistake. That's Barron over there by the bed.
Ah, another case of mistaken identity? How did he miss you?
I happened to be under the bed at the time.
Oh.
And I wasn't hiding.
No?
I was looking for a gun, and I found it, and I used it. And if I had one right now, I'm not so sure I wouldn't use it on you. You still haven't told me why you left me here alone, holding the sack all this time.
I'll tell you why. And I guess it was our fault. The men I had posted in the lobby didn't see you come into the hotel.
Well, how do you like that? Johnny Dollar, wise guy.
Huh?
Lieutenant, I got some news for you. Just to make sure I was taking no chances, I came in the back way. Expense account, item 8, $62. Hollywood Entertainment. Seeing what there is to see at Ciro's. Item 9, $105. Seeing to it that one of the things I saw at Ciro's had a good time with me at the Mocambo. Item 10, $186.13. Plane fare, Hollywood back to Hartford. Item 11, $1. Ticket to the movies, back in Hartford, to study the last motion picture of Marilyn Major, so that in the future I'd be sure to steer clear of her kind of a woman, who is too much of a jinx for my kind of man. Expense account total, $948.76. Signed, yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
In keeping with the Easter season, you'll hear a different kind of story on CBS Gangbusters tomorrow night. The authentic story of a former gangster's fight to go straight, broadcast in cooperation with outstanding parole authorities. You'll find this Easter Eve Gangbusters drama as gripping as any program CBS has ever brought to you. Tomorrow night, you'll also find a mid-April adventure with the intriguing title, The Heat Wave, on CBS Philip Marlowe program. Gangbusters and The Adventures of Philip Marlowe are regular Saturday night features on most of these same CBS stations. Listen in again next week when CBS brings you yours truly, Johnny Dollar, with Charles Russell as Johnny. Written by Paul Dudley and Gil Doud with music by Mark Warno, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Richard Sandville for CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Time now for yours truly, Johnny Dollar. The next half hour has its baggage packed to take a trip with America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At Insurance Investigation, he's just an expert. At making out his expense account, he's an absolute genius.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, American Pioneer Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. Attention, W.K. Green, General Manager. The following is an accounting of my expenditures in the case of Barton Drake, or how I played ducks and drakes with a drake who ducked. Expense account, item 1. $100 I'm charging you for 1 hour's sleep I missed answering your telephone call at 9 o'clock in the morning. Expense account, item 2. $1.50. I had to go out for breakfast. The Easter Bunny didn't leave me any eggs. Item 3, Cab fare to your office, $1. Tip to driver, $1.
Good morning, Johnny.
Why don't we make that good night sometime soon? Shall we, Chickie?
Well, I've had to type up some of your expense accounts. I think maybe an evening with you might be fun. But business first. Old Stonewall's waiting for you.
Oh, hasn't he gotten out of that military kick yet?
No, he still thinks he's a general. But to me, he's still just what he was before he ever went into the Army.
His belts never stopped fighting the battle of the businessman's bulge, huh? Well, forward march. Good morning, Mr. Green, sir. Mr. Dollar reporting as ordered, sir.
Addie, Oh, yeah. What's this saluting and heel-clicking about?
Oh, I thought you might be homesick for some military courtesy.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to get any kind of courtesy from you. But we're not paying you to be polite. Sit down. Here. I got a job for you. Here. Had a copy made of the file in that case. You can take it with you.
Thanks. Barton Drake, huh? Oh, yeah, I remember him. Let's see. Life insurance, $30,000. Beneficiary, Mrs. Barton Drake. Well, what is it? Is he dead or just dying?
Neither, we hope.
Well, if you'll pardon a little before-noon philosophy, just by living, a man is slowly dying of old age.
We have a statistical department to worry about that, Dollar. Your job is to find this man, Barton Drake.
Okay. What's the story?
And as far as the company is concerned, the story started one night just short of 7 years ago.
Oh, that would make it 1942.
Yes, the same year I was called upon to fight for my country.
Yeah. In the insurance division, Pentagon Building, Washington, D.C.
Huh?
But don't get me wrong. Those who served can be just as proud of what they did as those who fought. As you were saying.
I merely used the word fight as a general term.
Yes, General. Barton Drake, one night about 7 years ago?
Yes. When we issued the life policy on Drake, he listed his occupation as that of hardware store proprietor.
Hardware? As I recall it, he specialized in unregistered pistols, handcuff keys, and hacksaws. And if I'm not wrong, at the time he disappeared, he was under suspicion of grand larceny and wanted for assault with intent to kill a police officer.
Yeah, that's right. At the time, he was suspected of a number of large robberies.
Yeah. Refresh me on that cop shooting. How'd that happen?
You remember. When the police arrived at the house to pick him up, he opened fire from the bedroom window, made a dash for it out of the back to his own car. And there was a chase during which the car skidded and went through the rail of a bridge into the river.
Oh, yes. Now I remember, yeah. They never did recover the body or the loot. All they got back was a wet Buick.
Dollar, that was 7 years ago. At least it will be 7 years in 1 more week. At that time, Barton Drake will be declared legally dead by the probate court. His wife has already instituted proceedings.
And when the court says she's a widow, she says, I want my $30,000, and you have to pay it, right?
Exactly. But we're not going to pay that $30,000 if we can help it. At 9 o'clock this morning, the Missing Persons Bureau of the New York Police Department called us and gave us reason to hope that Drake is still alive.
What happened? Did they see him in a crystal ball?
You don't know how close to the truth you came, Dollar.
Oh?
The Missing Persons boys have a new habit these days. Whenever there's a television show where there's a public crowd involved, they watch it. Last night, they think they spotted Barton Drake at the prize fights. Now, that's all we've got to go on, but we think he's alive and that he's somewhere in New York.
Well, that's a start, anyway. I know where to find New York. Expense account, item 4, $7. Mileage, Hartford to New York. I stopped in Bridgeport to soak up a dish of coffee and whatever information there might be in the insurance file. Of the two, the coffee was the stronger. All I learned from the file was Drake's physical measurements, the birthplace of his mother, his wife's maiden name, the last known quotation on his blood pressure, and his home address in Manhasset, Long Island, to which I went. The house had a $40,000 look about it, and its grounds were being manicured by a gardener who had a $12 a day look about him.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see Mrs. Drake. Here's my card.
Yes, sir. Step in, please.
Thank you.
If If you wait here in the hall, sir, I'll go tell her you're here.
The maid had a $40 a week look about her and completed the picture of prosperity. For a hardware merchant, Barton Drake had died leaving his wife living a soft life. Either that or he was still alive and not giving his wife grounds for divorce on the basis of non-support. Or she was that certain kind of gal who wouldn't have any trouble making that certain kind of man get up that certain kind of money. And when I saw her, I knew not only that I couldn't afford her, but that Drake probably hadn't been able to, which probably led to his undoing. Just to give you an idea, she was wearing a diamond necklace and a negligee, and it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mr. Dollar?
Mrs. Drake?
Yes, Stella Drake. I'm having breakfast. Won't you come in and join me?
Well, I'll join you, but no breakfast. I just had a tomato surprise. Lunch.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't mean me. Come on, right in here. Are you sure you won't have some breakfast?
No, thanks. I couldn't bring myself to hurt that poor, tired trout you've got there.
Oh, please. That's a genuine English kipper.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't recognize it without its monocle.
Oh, you're more fun than an eye-opener. I should have you around when I get up every day.
Well, I have something to tell you that should make you really feel good.
You don't mean that bunch of stuffed shirts at the insurance company have decided to give me my money without going through all that fuss at probate court?
Oh, I've got better news than that. You may not get that money. But we think you have a good chance of getting your husband back.
What?
Yeah, the New York police think they saw him last night. Alive. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that doesn't make you happy.
Why, yes. Yes, of course it makes me happy, but to live without a man for 7 years and then have a stranger just sit across the table and calmly tell you he's alive, it's just too much. Tell me, where did they find him?
They didn't. They think they spotted him at the fights they were watching on television. I imagine they're looking for him. I know I am.
Well, it's impossible. If he were alive and back in New York, he'd come to me.
That's what I was hoping, Mrs. Drake.
Well, I don't believe it. Why would he do a thing like that to me? Why would he make me suffer all these years? I think you'd better go now. I've got to be alone. I've got to think. Oh, Barton, why? Please, Mr. Dollar. I want to be alone.
I figured if she wanted to be alone, it was for a good reason. Because that lather she'd gotten into was strictly from soap opera. She flooded me to the door on a tide of tears. Once outside, I picked up the hedge clippers the gardener had conveniently left near the front walk and pruned the telephone wires leading into the house. Then I took a plant on the place from the other side of the street. I figured Mrs. Drake would want to share her troubles with somebody, and with the phone wires cut, she'd have to leave the house to do it, giving me a chance to follow her. And that's the way it worked out. She led me someplace, all the way into New York City, but not to Barton Drake. That would have been too easy. Once in Manhattan, she headed for a drugstore and a telephone booth. I slipped into the phone booth beside hers. I got the receiver off the hook and my nickel in the slot in time to use an old trick of mine. As she dialed, I tried to duplicate it with my phone. She dialed. And I dialed. I was just one number behind her all the way. When she was through dialing, I held off dialing the last number on my phone until she got an answer. And then I let it go. The number she was calling was busy. There was still room for coincidence, but it was good enough for me. I jotted down the number I'd gotten out of my little telephone game of tag and then listened.
I've got to see you right away. We're in trouble. All right, I'll meet you in 20 minutes. The usual place.
The usual place turned out to be the usual place to meet trains, Grand Central Station. But no train ever pulled into where Mrs. Drake went. As a matter of fact, no man ever did. Unless he was a plumber, maybe. That's right, where the ladies go to powder their noses and things. She came out 30 minutes later alone, but she never hit the street. Instead, she went through the tunnel into the adjoining Commodore Hotel and checked into room 407. The only room I could get was 1313. Expense account item 5, $10. Tip to hotel detective for keeping an eye on the eyeful in 407. Item 6, $35. Purchase of portable phonograph. Item 7, 65 cents. Purchase a phonograph record, Frank Sinatra singing Night and Day. With this for ammunition, I went back to my hotel room and, gunning for a bird I'd never seen, I set up the phonograph near the telephone, put on the record, and placed a call to the number Mrs. Drake had called earlier in the day.
Hello.
Hello there. 7 p.m. again, and this is your favorite disc jockey, Happy Jack the Money Man. Yes, your favorite disc jockey, your spinner with the winners. Tell me, are you listening to our show?
My radio is not on. Goodbye.
Oh, hold the phone, madam. A little thing like that doesn't make any difference to Happy Jack. Here's all you have to do to win a house full of prizes. Now, you just listen closely over the phone and identify today's puzzle platter, and you'll win all these wonderful prizes. A genuine Sunbeam Mixmaster that makes those fresh little eggs just happy to get beat up. Yes, and you'll clean up with the next prize. Make a real clean sweep with a Hoover vacuum cleaner with all attachments and no strings attached. And to send you tripping happily through life, you'll also receive a handsome set of easy-to-lug luggage, a pair of Gladiator bags. Are you interested?
Why, of course I am.
All right, then. Here's the tune.
Night and day.
There it is. What's the title of that song?
Night and day.
You're right. You win all the sensational prizes. Quickly now, give me your name and address. They'll be delivered tonight.
Mrs. Knott.
Yes, Mrs. Knott. The street number?
127 East 89th Street, apartment 3C.
Thank you, Mrs. Knott. You'll get the whole works immediately. Expense account, items 8, 9, and 10. $39.50, purchase of Mixmaster. $79.50, purchase of vacuum cleaner. And $89.50, purchase of luggage. You may resent this expenditure, but there's one thing you must remember. Nobody can resist trading their name and address for something for nothing. I felt like an out-of-season Santa Claus when I knocked on the door of apartment 3C at 127 East 89th Street. The frame suddenly became a picture frame encasing a live version of Whistler's grandmother, complete with wheelchair and crocheted afghan.
Just bring them in and set them down.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Happy Jack, and I'm glad to meet you.
Right in here and set them down.
Ah, yes. There you are, Mrs. Knott. You lucky woman, you.
Is that all?
Almost. Now, all we need from you is a little information. Just some background on today's winner to pass along to my radio audience.
Be off with you, young man. I'll write you a letter.
Oh, but come now, Mrs. Knott.
Never mind. I have no time now.
Just a few questions while I check you out on the Hoover.
I don't need any checking out. Now go away.
I must say, Mrs. Knott, you're a bad winner. So now I'm afraid I'm going to have to stick around to find out how good a loser you are.
What do you mean? Come in.
You.
Stella, do you know this man?
Do I know him? He's that insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar.
Granny came flying out of the wheelchair, multiplying in height by 3. When I first saw Granny's hand flying toward me, it looked like there was an old-fashioned wedding ring on each finger. But just too late, I saw it was only a set of brass knuckles. Oh.
In just a moment, we'll return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. CBS cordially invites you to hear the adventures of Philip Marlowe and the stories of modern crimes and their solutions as unfolded on Gangbusters when they come to you every Saturday night on most of these same CBS stations. Tomorrow night, Philip Marlowe will investigate the mystery behind the cloak of Kamehameha, and Gangbusters will deal with the case of the Callous Killers. Now back to yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Woke up, the thunder and lightning in my head was getting an answer from the sky. And I started getting some answers, too.
You, James, give me a page.
Granny's
You're all
voice
alike.
had changed
You
to the
talk
bass
too much and
register,
think too
and its
little.
owner was
You're
smoking
never
a big
satisfied with what
cigar.
you've got.
I stayed on the floor and quiet. I didn't want those
Listen to
brass
you. Why
knuckles
didn't you
crooning
listen to
me another lullaby.
Come awful close to fouling up the whole deal. I told you I didn't want you to try to collect on that insurance. Why'd you do it?
It's $30,000, that's why.
To hear you talk, you'd think you were going hungry. What do you think I am, some empty milk bottle you can run down to the corner and get your nickel back on? What were you trying to do anyway, sell me out?
Sell you out? You know what started this trouble. You had to go to the fights last night. Oh, a big man. Dumb cops, you call them.
Don't worry about me. They haven't found me. I'll take care of myself. But not with you lousing me up, getting mixed up with dirty dealers like this guy Dollar.
Oh, you're so smart. Why did you let him in here?
Shut up. He wanted to give me something for free, that's why. Well, I've got something for him. A free boat ride. Wheel that chair over here. We'll take him out in that.
The wheelchair ride was short, to the street. The auto ride was longer, to the ocean. And from what I could gather on the dock, the boat ride was to be even longer, to my doom. I was still playing Sleeping Beauty and listening to the supposed-to-be dead man, Barton Drake, telling his wife Stella how he was going to make my slumber permanent.
Come on, get a move on. I've got his hands tied. Hurry up with his feet.
I'm almost through. There. Now what?
Now stand back while I heave him up on the deck.
Oh, aren't you going to tie him to something?
For what? If they ever find this boat, they're going to find it empty. One good wave out there, and this guy goes for a swim. There. The wheel's lashed. He's got plenty of gas and plenty of ocean out there. That'll teach Mr. Happy Jack. Now I'm giving him away.
Taking that salt shower bath with my clothes on wasn't the big chill in my life. I was scared. My heart was racing faster than the boat engine. And for the first 20 minutes, all I could think about was hanging onto that slippery deck with all I had to hang with, my hopes and my heels. I was on a thin strip of deck after the wheel. Hard by my hands was a deck cleat. With that for a starting point, I went to work, trying to out-navigate that rope, with which Barton Drake had lashed the wheel. I worked my tied wrists over the cleat and dropped my legs down over the side into the icy racing water. I had rigged myself into a human jury rudder to swing the boat off its course. I didn't know where it would take me, but I didn't care so long as it wasn't out to the open sea.
Oh, waking up, eh? Might as well tell you. Your boat sunk and you ruined my dock last night doing it. I have to pay for it.
Oh.
My name's Fred Kindly. I pulled you off the beach. I'm expecting to be paid for that, too.
Will it cost me to find out where I am?
Well, it ain't worth nothing. Talk ain't. You're on Slate Island. Ain't worth much neither. All slate. Didn't have the sense to grow no chalk to go with it.
Dandy. Where are my clothes?
Out in the sun.
How about my wallet?
Fish must have got it.
Mind if I feel your back for fins?
Don't get funny, young feller. Might want to be getting off this island someday.
Someday. Some minute is more like it. You got a boat?
Of course I got a boat, but ain't got much food. Maybe if I could afford to buy some supply canned goods when I got to the mainland, well,
Well, how much would it cost?
Much as $100, maybe?
Okay, it's a deal. Let's go.
Hold on now. Only said maybe. Come think of it, might cost $200.
Oh, okay. You swindler. $200 then.
Oh, swindler, am I? I say a fellow might as well have the game as a name. Makes my price $500 worth of grade A canned goods. And if you don't want to pay it, you can get out in this shack and wait for the mailboat.
Maybe I will. When does it get here?
Week from Tuesday.
Okay. You'll get your $500 worth of canned goods. When can we start?
I'll give you your clothes soon as you put it in writing and sign your name.
Where's the paper?
Right here. Keep it handy. Just fill in the amount here. $500 worth. It's my regular contract for shipwrecks.
Okay. Give it here. 500. Now, where do I sign?
Right there at the bottom.
There you are. All signed.
That's a peculiar name, Ali Khan.
I'd had more than my share of wind the night before, so I decided to throw caution to it. I went into the building at 127 East 89th Street and up to apartment 3C. First, I knocked with my knuckles and got no answers, so then I knocked with my feet. Well, what do you know? The lock broke. There was nobody home, and Barton Drake must have been out calling himself Granny at the moment because the wheelchair part of his disguise was also among the missing. The closet was empty, and the brand new Gladiator bags I had delivered the previous evening were nowhere to be found. Now, nobody could say I hadn't made it easy for Drake to make a getaway with my little giveaway. I'd even supplied the luggage. But all the traffic wasn't going. Some of it was coming. Oh, well, Stella, there's one bad thing about kicking your way into places. You can't lock the door behind you. Well, now that you're in, you better come all the way in.
What are you doing here?
You should be asking me what I'm doing alive. The only answer I've got for that is I don't murder easily.
Where's Barton?
Ah, that was the next question I was going to ask you. Now that one's gone, I've got a couple more I'd like to ask you. And don't argue.
I don't know anything.
Well, then let me tell you something. If you're not guilty of anything else, you are guilty of attempted insurance fraud. That's in my department. The tougher you make it on me, the tougher I'm going to make it on you. Now, about those questions. How long has your husband been back here in New York?
He never left here.
Oh, the night his car crashed through the bridge, he just grabbed himself a hideaway in New York and stayed put, huh? How long has he been using that old lady disguise?
All the time.
Okay. Well, now my last question. That bag in your hand, where were you going? Okay, let's find out. Give me that bag. Uh-huh. What's this? Well, it's either a bathing suit or a two-piece handkerchief. And that blouse there, that doesn't look like it's for dinner wear in an igloo. You were headed south.
So we were headed south. What about...
We, huh? If you ask me, and I doubt that you will, so I'll tell you anyway, your hopes just headed south. Lady, you've been double-crossed. Your husband took off without you.
I don't believe it. If he left here, he had a good reason.
That's your guess, but we're not playing your hunches. We're playing mine from here on in. Just where did he say you were going?
I don't remember.
Maybe it'll help if first you remember what I told you about insurance fraud. It's good for 10 to 20 years. Now, do you remember?
He bought tickets on the Orange Blossom Special for Florida. It leaves Penn Station in an hour and a half.
Oh, you've got that a little backwards. The Orange Blossom Special pulls out in half an hour.
What?
That doesn't even give me enough time to get down there. Get out of my way. Sit down.
Information.
Hello. Information. Look, I want the telephone number of the Penn Station branch of the Travelers' Aid Society. This was once when I didn't want the society to aid the traveler. I told them that Barton Drake was my invalid aunt and as nutty as a fruitcake. With Stella's help, I described his costume from the daisies on his hat to the buttons on his shoes. I tagged it off with a warning that when my aunt left the house, she thought she was a honeybee and was on her way to throw herself in front of the Orange Blossom Special, wheelchair and all. The guy on the other end of the line took off to round up the railway police, and I took off to round up a taxi. I rode the escalator into the main waiting room, and halfway down, I spotted Barton Drake in his grandmother getup. He was surrounded by police, and the police were surrounded by a small crowd. I walked over.
Orange Blossom Special.
I don't know what kind of a practical joke this is, young man, but it's not funny. You made me miss my train, and I don't even have a nephew.
No, Mother, don't be upsetting yourself.
Don't you now, me, young man. Just get me on a train. Any train headed south will do.
Drake was getting ready for trouble. If the cops couldn't see it, I could. His hand was under his Afghan, and I knew the least it could be holding was a fistful of brass knuckles, but probably more. He was getting ready to make a run for it. I wasn't taking any chances. I edged my way through the crowd, up behind the wheelchair, and spun it around, and hit what looked like somebody's grandmother a beautiful shot in the whiskers.
What? He hit the old lady.
I got him.
Now, wait a minute, officer. You don't understand.
Don't understand, don't I? Hit an old lady, will you?
He's not an old lady.
It's trouble you want, you scoundrel. Here, maybe this'll quiet you down.
Officer, you don't...
Johnny!
Hiya, Chickie.
Oh, that bandage. What's the matter with your head?
No brains. Where's the general?
Oh, when he found out you'd saved American Pioneer $30,000, he decided to take the morning off and celebrate. He's out playing golf.
Oh, great. To celebrate my getting hit on the head with police clubs, he goes out and swings golf clubs.
Oh, Johnny, I was sort of
Now,
hoping
don't
that...
worry, Chickie. I've still got enough energy left for nightclubs. You want to help me with this expense account? I'll get it out of the way.
Oh, that's all that stands between us.
Uh-huh. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, American Pioneer Life Insurance Company, First, the police held me and let Granny Drake go to the hospital, where they learned the truth. Then they let me go to the hospital and transferred Barton Drake to the pokey, where he was soon joined by his lady-in-waiting, Mrs. Drake. Expense account item 11. Something I almost forgot. $500. Canned goods. For the man who got me off the rocks on Slate Island, Mr. Fred Kindly. Even if he did rob me, I didn't feel like robbing him. The only thing I did do was remove all the labels from the $500 worth of canned goods. I'm sure that this will see to it that Mr. Kindly has some very unbalanced meals, because I happen to know that there's no difference in the sound of canned tomatoes and canned peaches when you shake the can. Expense account total, $1,482.63. Yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
At last, mankind is facing up to one of its most feared diseases, cancer. Research scientists are working tirelessly, exploring every avenue that might lead to new treatments, new cures, and new insight into the causes of the disease. At the same time, the American Cancer Society is working to keep the public informed of all the progress that has been made, trying to reach everyone with the message that the sooner a diagnosis is made, the better the chances of cure. Together, this public education and research attack should bring great progress in the control of cancer. But both phases of this program are costly. Realizing you are giving to a fight against a disease that could menace you, give generously to the American Cancer Society's drive for funds this year. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Charles Russell as Johnny. Our music is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Paul Dudley and Gil Doud and is produced and directed by Richard Sanville for CBS, where 99 million people gather every week, the Columbia Broadcasting System.